Well, you know as they say, all great things must come to an end at some point, and sadly, it's this franchise. The highly anticipated Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is the final film of the Harry Potter franchise. Wow. 10 years and it's all led up to this. But before I start my review, I'm going to share a little story from you guys of how I got into Harry Potter before. Back in 2001 when the first film went out, I really enjoyed it. I dug the series for a while and I started reading the books too. I've read 1 through 4, but when it came to the 5th film for some reason, my interest just kind of peaked down. I didn't read the book for that one when I saw the movie, and for some reason that was my least favorite of the series. But it soon picked up again because I thought that Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows Part 1 were pretty good because Deathly Hallows Part 1 was the whole setup to what we have here. It provided all the exposition that we needed, and to tell you the truth, all you fans out there who just watched the movies, you might want to see Deathly Hallows Part 1 before you actually see this film. The film picks off of directly how Deathly Hallows Part 1 ended, in which Harry, Ron, and Hermione decide that they have to find the last remaining Horcruxes to defeat Voldemort once and for all before he can get the chance to kill Harry. And it all leads to the big climax that all the fans of the books have been waiting for, the big showdown between Voldemort and his Death Eaters against Harry and the Wizards of Hogwarts. Now, surprisingly, unlike most people, I went to this film with very low expectations, because ever since my interest started sliding down after Order of the Phoenix, it never really peaked up for a film, even though I enjoy the whole series. However, for this film, oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, I almost got emotional at the end. I love this movie so much. Every single actor in this movie just brings their huge game to this film, in which they just know this is the finale. This is our last make it or break it time to give the best performance, and everyone does such a great job. There are 2 huge standouts in this, and one of them is Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, because he knows that in this film, he knows that he must tackle Harry's biggest internal emotions, especially concerning with how Voldemort always gets in his head, and he nails him down so perfectly. This is by far his most intense, emotional performance he has given in all the films, and he does such a superb job. But for me, the real stealer of this film, though, was Alan Rickman as Professor Severus Snape. He's only in it for a few scenes, but there is one long scene towards the end of this film that is a huge point to all the readers of the books and the followers of the film who also read the books, of course. That scene is nailed on so well, and Alan Rickman. It's been so long since he starred as Hans Gruber in Die Hard, and now it leads up to this. This is another huge pinnacle in his acting career, because this is by far his best performance as Snape. He really nails down the emotionally damaged parts of Snape very well, especially in that sequence, as I mentioned before. I loved his performance so much. The final climactic battle of this film is so well handled by director David Yates, as he really steps up his creativity and just fully becomes part of the franchise for this film, and he just nails down the final battle so well. The scenes are so well choreographed, and he manages to give almost every character an equal amount of screen time, and they all have their great moments, especially Neville Longbottom. I really enjoyed his bits in the battle, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cracked up a little bit at the Weasley's mom yelling at Bellatrix Lestrange. She kind of had an Ellen Ripley moment, which is kind of funny at the same time for me because I'm such a sci-fi nerd. Alexander Desplat's score is magical for this. It really sets the dark, thrilling, and intense tone that the movie goes off of when the climax hits you, and it's one of my favorite scores by far of his, because it really helps convey the really dark tone that goes on throughout the battle. As I said before, I've never been the biggest fan, but I'll admit, at the end, for some reason, when it came to the epilogue that all you big fans know about, for some reason, I almost wanted to cry, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know why it even hit me at first, because I never thought I'd get like that, but for some reason when it came to that epilogue, which all you fans know about already, I don't know why, I just got kind of emotional and going, this is the end. this is over. I mean, I couldn't believe it almost. You know, I feel like the final minutes of this film is definitely what's going to resonate with everyone that goes and see this film, if they're fans of both the books and the movies, or the movies in general, because it's really going to sit in with us that this is a series that we have been following for 10 years, has become one of the biggest pop culture phenomenons of all time, and it's something that's really going to stick with us throughout our lives, especially for the great spectacle that we've gotten to enjoy from 8 films in 10 years. That is phenomenal right there. And I think that any other movie franchise there is out there is not going to compete from what Harry Potter has done for all of us in the past 10 years, especially for the amount of films it had, but for the maturity it went through in its time, and also with the brilliant actors that they got, and the really stepping up of director David Yates for the final films. God. I don't even want to let go of it sometimes. Just, it really got to me. I really enjoyed Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It's one of my favorite movies of the year for sure. I'm going to give it a very strong 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's not perfect in my opinion, because it does have a little bit of problems, just very little problems. But it is a great spectacle for all the fans out there. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel where you can check out more of my reviews. Also, follow me on Twitter and follow my posts on Facebook. And I want to tell you that my Jimmy Neutron review is going to get pushed for another week because I have Comic-Con next week, and you're going to expect a video for that in the next few days. So in the meantime, I'm Tyler from Cali Critic Reviews, and I'll see you guys later.